All right, welcome everyone. Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Castlevania Nocturne, Season 1, Episode 2. Let's see some vampires and some vampire hunters just go at it.
Go at it. Just
Yeah.
completely go at it.
The action of that first episode was fantastic.
Yeah.
The designs and the outfits and everything I'm here for.
Wonderful.
We've got some very killable villains right now. So let's do that.
We've got a plucky duo that just
With a hot
can't
mom.
stand each other. You know?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. They can all have each other. We're going to enjoy company with
The moms for the fans.
Moms, exactly. Exactly. Absolutely.
Right.
But then we also have the mommy killer, the fuck motherer himself, here
Yeah.
in France.
Indeed.
And he does not want to dance.
No. Well, I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe. I don't think
Yeah,
he even knows
but also-
that Richter's here.
But also, he isn't the vampire messiah, so that's still up in the air. But then we also have these two new people that showed up, so we've got our squad of 5 that are, here because of that whole vampire messiah thing.
So we'll be getting their info pretty soon through Annette and Edoir.
Yeah.
But, okay, let's find out what's going on. So, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, revolution has begun.
Oh, hi.
Yup.
This so-called revolution, it's not a struggle for the rights of man. It's an abomination. An affront to the natural order, to common decency, to God and his church. My own holy order, the Knights of St. John, founded to protect pilgrims in the wars for the Holy Land, has been commanded to submit to the blasphemous, godless state. We would rather die. A deliverer is at hand. A new Joan of Arc. A mighty warrior queen to lead us to salvation.
Hold up a minute.
A holy army of the righteous to crush the blasphemers. In the name of God.
In the name of God.
Oh.
Is this our, forger?
Name your business in the commune of Paris.
This is Paris, is it? What a dump.
I'm a representative of the insurrectionary commune of Paris.
I'm a representative too. Of the Messiah.
Religious orders need to register with the National Convention.
Not that Messiah. The real one.
Well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
The way those heels were like up, they weren't even heels. They made it look like hooves almost.
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't know if I should bury it.
Oh, it's
Come on.
dead.
I need help with breakfast.
Oh.
Gotcha.
When it got smacked through the window.
Yeah, I thought maybe that, should have some healing magic that could help it, but no, it's gone.
I've heard about the revolution in Saint-Domingue, of course. So I know the slaves rose up, burned all the sugar plantations, killed all the bastard slave owners.
One escaped. Many white colonists were vampires. The island was teeming with all kinds of evil. We're still fighting.
I'll call a meeting.
Gotcha.
It'll be so inspiring.
You were slaves then, were you?
Annette was. I was an opera singer. Oh my God. This bread. We've been living off ship rations for weeks.
Oh.
Okay.
You've spent time on a ship?
Maybe.
I sailed here from Boston when I was a boy.
I didn't think it was humanly possible to vomit so often.
Tell me what you know about this vampire messiah.
In Saint-Domingue, there's a mambo, a priestess, my teacher. She's a powerful sorcerer and seer. It was she who told me to find you. For centuries, vampires have lived coiled around the old houses of Europe, like vines. Close allies of the dukes and barons, even the royal courts themselves. But many vampires resent it. Their reliance on human kings and princes promises to make them unquestioned masters of the world. They'll leave the kings and princes in place, but with vampires pulling the strings. Rush the revolution. Priestess told me you could do magic.
I could.
What happened?
I don't know.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
The Messiah was a monster before she was a vampire.
She?
Even as a human, she tortured and murdered young girls and boys.
Whoa.
The vampire messiah. Do you know her name?
Elizabeth Bathory. Countess Elizabeth Bathory.
Mom?
What is happening? Well,
She'll do nicely. The Messiah will be pleased.
Taste testing the food.
yeah.
I never really told you why I fled from Russia, but I never really told you who I had to leave behind. I was born 4,000 miles to the east, in Russia, by the banks of a great river. People
Full
were
backstory.
poor, cruelly treated. So my family, a clan of speakers, settled there for a while to help ease their suffering. But of course, our freedom couldn't be tolerated, so the soldiers came.
Well, just yeah.
There were vampires too. None worse than Abbott battery, and our attack dog dropped its winters.
So, you fled?
Okay.
Not yet. They captured my sister.
I didn't know you had a sister.
Oh.
I tried to save her.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Was she made into a vampire?
Abbott battery doesn't simply kill her victims.
Yeah. Yeah.
She tortures them for as long as she can keep them alive. Joyce's in the most terrible agony
Oh
she can
my god. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she turns them.
God, the outfits. Oh.
That face.
Gosh.
Leaving her and everyone I knew had left.
Okay.
To places I didn't even know existed.
All right.
Dang.
There are things that I don't talk about either.
She will bring horror beyond nightmares. Suffering and pain beyond endurance.
Right, but she's also...
But we will defeat her.
Very handy trick.
Yeah. Don't you worry. We're going to fucking kill her.
Now, is she the vampire messiah? Because she said she was an emissary
Right.
representative of the vampire messiah.
Yeah.
Now, she's obviously affiliated because she's from this group.
Do you feel close to these creatures?
Come when I call. They do what I command. Well, ask. I don't really command them. Yes, it feels like for a little while they're part of me.
So part of you has died, like part of you died with your sister. I'll sing for them both.
Oh. Our kind, sweet bard.
Yeah.
This Marquee. You believe vampires are gathering at his chateau?
Yes.
We should investigate and burn it to the ground if we have to.
We'll stay out of sight. Just get a sense of numbers.
Then I'll come with you.
You need to rest. And we need to stay hidden. We'll be careful. We'll be safe.
Well, now Mom can die.
All right.
She
Yeah.
just told her backstory.
Exactly. We left her alone.
Yep.
We're attacking at night when they already attacked the house.
The people who built stone circles communed with what they called the Otherworld.
Sounds like the spirit world, where Annette's ancestors lived, back to Ogun and Orisha, a god of iron and war.
She's descended from a god.
On her mother's, it's Orunmila, an Orisha of wisdom and divination. It gives her power over metal and rock.
I'm quite happy with my whip and my knives, thank you. Generation upon generation of my ancestors have killed vampires with just this whip.
True.
Quite a lot of them could do magic, including my mother, but it's never been essential.
Where's your mother?
She died. Some vampires do magic too.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Babaleba. Uve Variea.
We're just gonna build a tunnel. Oh no, okay, a bridge. Okay.
Sick.
Very cool.
Yes. Let's get classical with this.
Yeah. Now, just scouting, right?
That's the Marquee.
Poor devils.
Well.
Yep.
And then the corpses.
Why?
To make more, your Marquis has some kind of deal with the Forgemaster. Follow those night creatures, we find their maker.
Shark. I saw him only yesterday.
Oh my god.
It's the vampire who enslaved her and murdered her mother, the Comte de Vaublanc. He looks like he's found God.
This is a scouting mission.
Annette, not
It's
now.
nighttime.
Annette.
Well, you guys are screwed.
No way. Well. Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Here we go. Okay, we got a group fight. Let's go.
Cool. Okay.
Oh my god.
Awesome,
Yeah, they're all
awesome.
mobile weapons. Yes, let's go. Oh,
That's a good point.
We can get transmuted into different forms as well.
Yeah, no shit.
Jeez.
You guys are actually doing pretty good.
Oh, that's so creepy. That's
Yeah.
so creepy.
It's the big hooped dress and oh.
Annette, we need a bridge.
Oh my god, she's moving fast. Yeah, damn, just like that. He's dead.
Don't drop them in the water. Yeah, you're lucky they're all dogpiling on him.
And then, yep, crush it on the way out. Yeah, they can't do anything about the running water.
Nice, nice, yeah. I like that they're bringing that up about vampires.
But the way
yeah.
they just sit
Naturally
there
running
across,
water.
just looking at him like,
Uh-huh.
we saw your faces.
Mm-hmm. We can find out.
Hell yeah, though. I love the big cat and the turtle.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
There's a reason scouting missions need to be scouting missions.
Wow.
Another body to be forged.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All rocks, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Abbott's the Forgemaster.
Yep.
Or at least one of them is a Forgemaster.
But we have brought up the whole deal of like, oh God.
Oh, they've systemized this.
Yeah.
They've got it all automated.
That's actually potentially a big problem because one of the big things from the original show is that the creations are loyal to the creator. Okay.
Well.
Just like that.
Glory be to God.
Yeah, and you end the episode there.
That was perfect. What a line.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
a
okay.
line drop.
I was gonna say, don't you dare have anything else happen in the episode after that.
Yeah,
That's too good.
All right, well, we
Okay.
blew a lid on this whole plot wide open.
Yep.
We've got ourselves our squad of heroes already losing a member.
Mm-hmm.
Their newly joined group here. R.I.P. Edoir, you did
Yep.
not need to die here. Sucks.
You sung your swan song, you
Yeah,
know?
you did.
But I will say, I am really glad that someone died from that excursion because even for early on in the show, this really felt like they were pulling the big dumb. They're like, no, we can't wait until morning. We'll just go, in the dead of night when vampires are strongest and everything. There's no way this can go badly.
Like, it wouldn't be hard to sneak onto the estate during the day, probably a little bit.
Right.
So, yeah, okay, cool. One of them's dead.
One of
Now
them's dead.
Let's move on.
Yep.
We got ourselves our Forgemaster, who is most likely the Abbott. But the thing is, because this is all machinery, this could have been the work of a lot of people. In fact, it had to be the work of a lot of people.
Right.
But the idea that this is so open, there's something about the way in which in this land, the night creatures and the vampires, they're so inlaid into the way that this world works and does things that even the mercenary Christian knights or whatever that are with them there, they just kind of look at the night creatures and are like, I guess it's Tuesday.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Oh my God, that tells you so much about how just messed up everything is
it's
here.
not the wild shit that's happening. It's the responses that aren't happening.
Right.
You know? Yeah.
Crazy cool. Oh man. Okay, so we now know a little bit more of Tara's story, and that there was a vampire who is connected to the whole thing with the vampire messiah, who I didn't really get entirely whether she is claiming to be the vampire messiah or if she's the herald of the vampire messiah.
I think she is definitely not the vampire messiah because we saw her interacting with characters that were no names that she then killed, and she's by herself. She has no reason to like posture, and she specifically said that she wasn't. So but she did make the connection. So when they don't even know what it is that she's talking about. So I think the identity of the Messiah is still something to be that's still a secret, I guess. But okay. We've got multiple factions here. That's one of the things that I think is really fun. Like having the whole thing of the Abbott being the person that's doing the forging. Awesome, because that means that now like it's not just a potentially corrupt priest or whatever that's like maybe
it's 100% corrupt.
No, right, but not just that, right? It's a corrupt priest that now is having an impact on that supernatural kind of scale of things.
Yes.
So it's a different
faction.
Force to be contended
There's the
with.
French aristocracy. There's the vampires associated with them. Then there's this new character coming in here.
Right. Cool.
Who's like very, very creepy, very, very intense. The idea that she's also forcibly torturing humans and bleeding them to make them into vampires is also a rather fun tactic, world building thing or aspect of her personality and why she's such a big threat. I like that as well, because getting to have characters die in a high fantasy story like this, but have them come back in a way like
that's
that.
Fun.
That's just fun. That's just ways to deal with the same character a second time.
Right. The
with
fact
a new aspect.
The fact that they'll have to now potentially fight Edoir, great. Awesome.
Yeah, that's
okay.
That's Edoir right there.
Yep, like that's an additional way for their mistake here to have permanent, or not necessarily permanent, but big consequences because when especially given that these night creatures feel a lot stronger than they did in the original series. I
think it's also that our characters, especially our characters from the previous thing, were a lot stronger.
Sure.
They had Alucard.
That's also true.
Remember.
Yeah.
And also Sypha was cracked. Sypha could just destroy a city courtyard full of night creatures.
That's true.
That she had so many times where she went full Avatar state and just decimated everyone.
We've got
people that have their gimmick magic, and they have to concentrate on it. They have to do one thing at a time.
We can summon animals. We can conjure and manipulate weapons, which is very cool and very awesome.
It makes the world feel more magical because everyone has something that's slightly different. Because just because you have magic,
you're not
doesn't mean you're doing this all the time. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yes. That's some
good
to the point
that's some
way of
sci-fi speaker shit,
exactly.
That's their magic.
Yeah.
We have magic that's tied to the idea that Annette is descended from a god from another dimension, place, or what have you, which is cool because that's tying into some stuff from what I was hoping we would get into eventually.
But also in kind of a similar way to the Crusader Guards or whatever, just sort of being like, yes, forging, another Tuesday. It's like, wait, what? You're descended from a god? Oh, just on my dad's side.
Right. Edoir's so she says,
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, right. The fact that it's like you're just like half god or whatever. That, right? Yeah.
Yeah. No big deal.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. I mean, also, Richter is descended from a goddess, so like, and we all worship at the feet of Sypha,
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I liked the character interactions this episode. The moments like between the exposition and talking about like all the world stuff, where it was just kind of the characters being there for each other. That's something that I really appreciate. I think it's something that is a benefit that we have of having more like a bigger cast, even though we just got that reduced down to 4. That's still something where it's a lot more dynamic than just, all right, we have the 2 people that like each other and then the 2 bickering siblings, you know?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, I loved those interactions.
Now we have a kind of an awkward family of sorts of Maria, Terra, and Richter. And then now we have our new kind of joined kind of cousin into the group here with Annette, because R.I.P. Edoir.
That's just... Yeah,
his voice was too pretty for this world.
Exactly. I was like even when he was like, I'll sing for the bird and all that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. And like the idea of getting beautiful song in this show that is already gorgeous, I'm like, yes, I'm here for it. Sign me up. I was not expecting it to happen. Like, oh, we're just having it happen here. I'm like, this is very like all of a sudden. Okay. No, it's because he's going to be dead in 10 minutes. And so this is our only opportunity. We're not going to get some, moment where like they're fighting and being badass while he's serenading, the battle. No, we don't get that. We don't have nice things here because
this is my thing though. I think we don't have anybody safe in this show just because they're, a part of the main cast here.
Yeah.
Edoir was probably the most killable of everybody that was introduced.
Because he wasn't the one bringing the like, I am the person who is after the plot,
Yeah, and that has way more story focus in that regard.
Right, and now the next one on the chopping block, if someone were to die, would be Terra.
Yeah,
who we were expecting to die, during the night, and I'm glad it didn't go that way.
But now that their little scouting mission ended up failing and they were seen, they can end up having the Abbott being asked by somebody being like, hey, we saw people that looked like this hanging out together. And the Abbott's like, I'll deal with it.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because what I thought was going to happen is the Abbott would like send one of his dudes with them, and then if they're in bed together, then maybe that'd cause some complications or something. But
yeah, I don't think that was necessary. I think but they're dealing with such big stuff here that they don't need to give them any more reason to like.
Oh no, totally. I was just thinking
sniff over.
Well, because given that the Abbott is like doing some shit, right? Is in cahoots with them.
Yeah.
That makes it so that when they were bringing the stuff up, and he's like, oh, but of course, if there's vampires, then we're on board with this.
Right.
Is the right? They're pushing. Yeah, I need to be against vampires and all that stuff. So sure, I'll go along with them in this conversation.
Right. I wanted to bring up something though. The being that came out of the machine here looked very vampire-esque, very overlord, very powerful and stuff.
Yeah, still has identity, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. And then when they were bringing the bodies over to the Marquee, one of the night creatures kind of gave one of them a little sniff like, this one's good. Let's use this one.
Sure, good stock.
Yeah, exactly. And then he was then brought over into the machine. We see... Oh, no, that was Edoir.
Yeah.
Oh, right. No, that was Edoir. Okay.
Also, that book with the like Necronomicon-looking thing. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
But yeah, so Edoir then comes back.
I will say, though, there's a decent chance they won't even necessarily recognize Edoir. He's got hands covering his face.
Nah, those blue eyes, I was going to say.
Oh,
those
sure.
blue eyes are pretty
Yeah, they
iconic.
did. Yeah, like, when this thing was happening, I'm like, damn, his eyes,
Yeah, they're just so blue.
Yeah.
Just bright, and it's like, oh.
All right, there we go.
Okay. But then we have Olrock sneaking around and watching shit from the water at points as they're like shipping the bodies, and he's just like, ooh, what's this? And then follows and stalks them all the way over here and has the reincarnation of Edoir as a night creature, and he's like, glory to God.
Yeah, which is such a fantastic line to end the episode on. Like,
such a smarmy petty bastard.
Oh,
the
yeah.
way he like walks and talks. And
but
moves.
he's potentially breaking some vampire rules here. So, because and I'm glad that they established this and also gave the exception in the same episode. So it's not we forgot about like running water or we're deciding to have it be different. No. Most vampires, they get to natural running water and they're like, well, shit, not school style. We can't chase you, right?
But some vampires have magic.
But some vampires have magic, and so he's smoky floating above it just fine. But then he also, now granted, there was the concept brought up in season 1 of the original show of like, hey, what's the qualitative aspects of how sacred a church is,
Right.
And so I could totally see this church.
They've desecrated the fuck out of this church.
They've desecrated the fuck out of this church.
This church has no holy protection anymore.
Yeah. But so it's really just one, thing that he's vampire thing that he's skirting around.
Well, that's the other thing. Like, that kind of stuff is for basic bitch vampires.
Sure.
For like an elder arc vampire or what have you,
right.
like this guy is. Nah, he's just like, I just turn into bats and then
yeah, exactly. It's obviously, like if I tried to like run over the top of the water, it would be bad.
It would melt to my feet.
But I'm smoke. That's why I do that.
Stupid. I'm not going to do that.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I love the idea that he's also kind of just curious and just wants to know, like, oh yeah, so they're doing some vampire messiah thing. Sure, I'll show up, but I'm not going to announce that I'm here.
Which I gotta say, on the one hand, I'm torn about this because Vampire Messiah, that sounds awesome. I want the Vampire Messiah to be the thing that I'm most like invested in because that sounds like it's going to be
terrified
of, right? Because that sounds like it's going to be dope as shit. But this motherfucker
in his purple ass
in his purple coat and everything, I just want to watch him. Like
he's sneaking around.
Yeah, just doing his shit. Is he no? Whoa, wait a minute.
What?
Okay. If we wanted to fully fill out the roster, Sad Boy, Sass, Vampire, that then is working with the main group. If he ends up being like, yeah, the vampires in this country just seem like bitches, like
I don't think he's the new Alucard.
No, I don't think so either. But I love watching him so much that there's that part of me that wants him to just like smoke up here and be like, oh, hi, what was your name?
No, see, what
Victor?
What I think it's gonna be is that Alucard will be the vampire messiah. And then they'll bring him back and they're like, oh, yes, Lord, yes, oh, yes, bring us the vampire. Why the fuck did you wake me up? Like, it's just like...
It's like, he would save us. Wait, is there a Belmont over there? Oh, shit, he saw us. Wait. All right, yeah. And he just starts killing all the vampires. I don't know. But I love this dude. He is so... terrible, but so enjoyable.
Aurochs is so enjoyable, just in the presence that he carries.
Yeah.
But in also the way in which he seems to be a schemer.
Right.
Like he just seems to be like, wait, if you have this purple suit and this ostentatious garb, you seem to like want to be seen. But then he's going around sneaking around. I'm like, why I don't understand you.
That's why I want him to show up to the main group and be like, I know you want to kill me, whip, smoke, evades it, but here's the thing, right? And I want him to set something up so that it's God damn it, we're not going to work with him, but so help me God.
Yeah, I'll bet what they're trying to figure out, and the reason why they've automated this whole Forgemaster thing is basically they're trying to figure out like true reincarnation, like actual full, like ways to pull a soul that did exist, that did actually live, and pull them back out into our world again. And the night creature part is just the
the evolution that needs to happen.
The soul came from hell or what have you.
Sure,
sucks to lose your body, but eventually we can maybe do something about it. And for now, your soul is here. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, and so if it's something where Edoir, as like the chief example, right, is able to retain some individuality, that's very good to know. 2, the fact that it's a system, not like a specific person being like, and now I'm forging you with the hammer and all that stuff, then that means that whoever they are subjugated by, if they're subjugated at all, might be up in the air. And if that's the case, then that totally does go with the whole like resuscitation, resurrection, reincarnation thing. Because then it's you're a full entity person now. Like, you're not beholden to anybody.
Right.
And that could be fun because then it's something where, like with the Abbott, he's not in control. Like, he's not building some personal army. He already has that.
Right, he already has that. He doesn't need that.
Yeah, exactly. So
he sees this as the necessary evil.
Right, where it's
some kind of ultimate goal.
Yeah, the vampires are bringing us bodies to do this. They don't realize that they're basically letting us recycle their own victims and turning them into an army that'll be able to beat them.
As good Christians, we're cheating, people out of hell. Like that's what our Lord wants us to do.
We have so much experience on that. Doesn't matter how old of a vampire you are, you won't be able to beat us on that. But also then the idea that the abbot was the one who said that evil can be subtle.
Yeah.
That is a weird thing for him to say when he is doing all this sus shit if he doesn't have...
Oh, he doesn't view himself as evil.
Right, no. Well, no, I think he does, but it's I see this as being a necessary evil, right?
No. See, that's the thing. Then you don't view yourself as evil. The difference between what you do being evil versus you yourself being evil.
Okay, sure. But basically, the idea that the abbot has some plan that the abbot does actually believe is worthwhile and good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hence the whole thing about evil being subtle.
Right. Yeah. And it's just fun because then we have now, even still, a much more confusing threat here because we don't really know, other than the new from Russia vampire that came in with her squad of really creepy monster fighters and stuff, the guy with the big axe and stuff, what their real method is of bringing about this
this vampire
messiah or whatever.
That's gonna be interesting. But for now, we've got fantastically dressed vampire that will spy on them and comment on the things that they do. Fantastic.
Yeah. I am curious if we missed anything with regards to the stuff about the Vampire Messiah, and if it was just cleared up here. I'll rewatch the episode to make sure we got it all.
I think the next episode is where they'll clear that stuff up because the first episode, and I think this was a good decision, didn't have much exposition, and then they had quite a bit in this one, and so I think then the next one is where it'll become
but
clarified.
Either way, I think there's a possibility that we missed some stuff here, so I will go back and check that stuff later to be sure. But yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about animated shows in general. Also, be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all
next time.